And in that program, I mean, with two Japanese men talking to each other in English, okay, the first video, okay, he said that when he speaks, he actually lived in Spain for 6 months, okay, and when he went there, since Spain is a tourist country, there are many tourists there, but most of the tourists only speak English to communicate with local people in Spain. So Spanish people, Spaniards, okay, Spanish people tend to assume that all those tourists speak English, but he started speaking in his Spanish, and it made the local people very, very happy because they didn't expect him to start speaking in Spanish, and their facial expressions were priceless. That's what he said in that video, and this shows how important it is to speak their native tongue, okay, as a tourist, even as a tourist, how happier they can feel if we speak their native tongue, okay, because it's quite difficult for tourists to learn their native tongue, right? I mean, if they travel to Spain, for example, and they can communicate with the local people in English nowadays because English is an international language, right? We can communicate with each other in English whenever possible, most of the time. But I hear at the same time that this Japanese guy, I mean, this different Japanese guy, okay, he's one of the YouTubers though. He's a YouTuber, and he went to one of the Latin countries with his brother, and but the local people there couldn't understand English at all. So, but the only language he knew was English, so he had trouble communicating with people in English. And I was his live stream a week ago or so, and I told him that I'm learning Spanish now. And because I knew that he had trouble communicating with people in English in Latin American countries, okay, he traveled to several Latin American countries with his brother, but he realized that English is not enough to communicate with the local people, right? And I've watched any of the some other videos of his and learned that he had trouble actually communicating with people in English. I'm not sure, but okay, anyway. I think that my daughter wakes up now. I don't know. It makes me feel a bit pressured. I'm self-conscious. Okay, I really hope that she won't get down to the second floor where I am now. Okay, anyway. So I said in his live stream that I am learning Spanish now, and he is interested in me saying I'm learning Spanish. And because I mean, no, I don't have to say because at the beginning, okay. He has been learning English for the last 3 or 4 years, and he's a great YouTuber teaching English to people, okay. I mean, he teaches how to study English to Japanese people, okay. And but now I'm learning Spanish also, right? And he went to any Spanish country, Latin American countries where he couldn't communicate with his English at all, right? And it made him realize that just knowing English is not enough, okay? And I told him that I'm learning Spanish, and he got interested in me saying that, okay? And I told him that learning Spanish through English is much easier than learning Spanish through Japanese, because English and Spanish have a lot in common, like Japanese and Chinese have a lot in common, okay? And that was totally new to him, it seems, and he was quite surprised to know that. And I think that he might start learning Spanish in the very near future, I guess. I think what I said to him turned him on to some extent, because for us Japanese, learning English is very difficult. It's very challenging. But for other people from other countries, even though they are from non-English speaking countries, for some people from some countries, learning English is quite easy, much easier than we would feel, right? So being able to speak English itself is not exceptional at all when it comes to people from all over the world, right? It's pretty normal nowadays that, to be able to speak English has becoming more and more normal, right, these days. And even more and more so in the future, right? And then I think that being able to understand more foreign languages, like not only English but also other foreign languages like Spanish, Chinese, even French and Italian, any other, and even Japanese, right? In Chinese, I said so already. It's I don't know how to say. It's very helpful for you, okay? And I heard this story from university professor. He is Japanese, and he's also polyglot himself. His first foreign language is probably Russian or English, and ever since then he learned more than 3 or 4 languages, okay? And he's a university professor, and he published many books, not only related to the language, but also he's a very good author. He writes very well in Japanese, okay? If he can write something good in Japanese, I think that he can write pretty well in his foreign languages, because he understands how effective, how he can write effectively, right? As I think that he's a good writer, not only in his mother tongue, but also in his foreign languages also. And he said something like that in this interview program I watched on YouTube some time ago, okay? He said that you should learn not only English, but also other foreign languages, because in this way, if you only learn English as your foreign language, English native speakers can be someone exceptional, right? Because they are native, right? and that you are non-native, and you tend to feel that always in inferiority to some extent. Okay, but if you learn other foreign languages than English, like Spanish, Chinese, whatever, whichever, then I mean, you have I don't know how to say this. You shouldn't focus only on English, right? Or native English speakers, right? I think this is right, and so that's why I feel more relaxed about my foreign languages after studying my, third and fourth languages, like which are Spanish and Chinese. If I had only learned English, okay, in the past, if English is the only foreign language for me at the moment, okay, if English was one of the only foreign language that I can understand, I would tend to focus more on my mistakes, my inferiority, or dumbness or something like that. But since I can understand more languages like Spanish and Chinese, okay, I can make it. Okay, I can take things less seriously. Okay, I cannot explain it in English very well right now, but okay, I'll practice. Okay, but the more languages you can understand, the better it is for you to not to take one language too seriously. Okay, that's basically what I wanted to say. Okay,